It's that time again. Our soul sister, intuitive tarot therapist, Michelle Nolan, is back with her February 2026 tarot forecast. After January's energetic expansion, what does February have in store? Will it align with the yearly forecast? Michelle helps us understand how to work with this month's unfolding energy so we can co create from a place of intention, clarity, and heart. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Robin. How are you?
I am very excited for what the cards have to say because we can all feel the intensity of what is going on right now.
Yes, it was a fast-paced entry
Yeah,
into 2026.
which really was surprising. I think you and I have talked about this personally. Normally, January is a slow wind up, but it did
Mhm.
not feel like that.
No, I think even though technically the fire horse year doesn't start until February, I think we're feeling that little shadow aspect in January coming in. We're already playing out how the year's tone's going to be.
Oof, get ready.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes.
Okay.
Get ready. I am excited to see what the details are.
Me too.
Yeah. Of what's happening in February because that really is, I think, the launch of the year because the Fire Horse year is very on point. That is a very on point energy.
Yeah, and actually, we are doing a whole podcast dedicated to the Lunar New Year and the Fire Horse.
Oh, great. I can't wait to listen. I have my crow deck that I'm using for February because I don't know if you know this, but every year I pull a spirit animal for myself for the year. And it was the crow for this year.
I
So I had to
did,
get a crow deck.
I did not know that, and that makes total sense that then you would then match
Look
that.
at this. Crow
Wow.
tarot. That's a good one.
And what does the crow represent?
The crow, and I think this is apropos for me for this year, it really is the seer. The crow is the seer of the animal kingdom, past, present, future, all combined as one, and messaging, channeling, anything that has to do in that ethereal realm and the bridge between the realm of the unknown and the seen. So that's
That's
the crow.
perfect. All
Mhm.
right.
Tapping into what I guess I always thought I've been doing, but now the crow is here to help me out more.
I love it. Now, when I see crows, I'm going to be thinking of you this year.
Yeah, and they're smart, so I kind of love that too.
And they can be loud sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, they're bold in their own way.
All
They're very
right.
mischievous too, which I can be down with.
That's true. You can.
All right, so should we just open up the session and see what happens for February?
Yes.
Okay. Spirit, please open the session for Seeking Center community and anyone else who is listening today. And please allow everybody to have an open heart and an open mind to receive these messages. And as always, we thank you for your guidance and your protection and your connection today. So I know we talked about this in coming into the annual forecast. We talked about how we were leaving hermit energy. We were leaving
Yes. That was
2025 in hermit energy. And what I always notice conversationally with tarot, particularly how energy transitions, is there's always leftover residue of energy as we're going from one place to the other, and then how we transition into a new mode. So the reason I'm bringing this up because the first card that I'm getting for the beginning of this month is the Hermit. So
no way.
yes, the Hermit with the Seven of Swords. So it came out together, and I guess I'll show you because I got to show my new crow deck here. That's telling me that we are leaving that Hermit energy. That's all that is. That Seven of Swords is we are finally extracting ourselves from that energy. So now, what is that energy for anyone that wasn't listening before? The Hermit energy is about that internal space, the internal work that you had to do, the going inward, contracting your energy, making sure that you had time, space for peace, had time, space for listening, had time and space for understanding what you're about on the inside, really, without the noise. So when I get that Seven of Swords, it's almost spirit saying, okay, we're done. We don't need to contract our energy anymore. We don't need to keep asking the same questions because this is what happens in tarot, particularly if clients come to me. And sometimes I notice these repeating patterns because as humans, we don't like to remove ourselves, transition from change very fast. We like to kind of slowly move out of an energy and into the next one. But we can get in a loop very easily and stay in that comfort zone. So right away that I'm getting from spirit, the message is get the hell out of here.
Wow.
Okay. Like,
Yes.
stop asking the same questions to yourself. Stop asking, is this the direction I should go in? Do I really know myself? Have I done the work? Have I proven what I need to figure out for me? Is it the right time for me to start something? Is it the right time for me to make this change? Is it the right time for me to make the move? And Spirit is saying pretty loudly, with the high priestess right next to it, you already know. Because next to that, Eight of Cups, it's all been behind you anyway. This whole first part here at the beginning is literally Spirit kicking you out the door. We are done here. You cannot ask any more questions that you don't already know the answer to. So, February is not even a launch, it is a door slam in your face. Like you can't come back in.
That's a really interesting visualization.
Yes. So, even if you were to knock and say, oh, but hold on, I still have a couple more things to ask spiritually, energetically. I feel like I should stay here. It's safe
Mhm.
here. They're saying that's not what this year is about. So we gave you a little transition time. We gave you time to reflect. And I think January has been that
I
transition time.
agree. Yes.
Even though we remember we talked about changing that compass direction, we took a little click and said, okay, I'm going to keep focusing over here. I'm going to keep focusing in this direction. But now Spirit's saying, no more ask. We have stripped you down to the core because you've been asking all in 2025. And now you need to believe who you are. You need to believe it. And I think also when I get this energy, like I said, it's a different energy than saying, can you stay in your comfort zone? It's an energy of saying, there's nothing left here for spirit to provide. So when I talk about this idea of, I call it parallel living, where we're in constant conversation with our 5D self and our 3D self. And the 5D self has all the knowledge, has all the wisdom, has all the clarity. Our 3D self is our executor. We can execute. The 5D cannot execute in the tangible world, in reality. The 3D self has to do that. So it's a multitask teamwork situation. So what they're saying is it is no longer time to ask for guidance. What it's time for is you to become the executor. Execute what you've learned. Execute what you know, and really coming from that space now, not just of authenticity, but about what we talked about in January, the no limitation, the no boundaries. And I think it's really stripped bare. The idea here that we are a new machine, that we have a new computation in our frequency of who we are, that's how we have to operate from now. Now, is it scary to get kicked out of the house like it's the 18-year-old that's going to college and no, I don't want to be an adult? It feels that way, but they're like, you got this, you can do it. So think of yourself now as someone that doesn't need to ask questions. You don't need to ask any more questions, at least not right now. We're supposed to be doing.
As you said, with starting to feel the fire horse being the Lunar New Year, with that energy, it's about moving with real momentum. And I would say to everything you're saying, just trust yourself. You have it, you know it, you've done the work. Even if you don't realize you've done the work, you've done the work. And you have to trust and move.
Yes. And I think too, because the way this is showing up for me is not just spirit being like, we're shutting the door on you, which sounds a little harsh, but it also is the feeling I think people are having that the restlessness starts to happen. You start to feel like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I got to do something. What's the plan? What's the strategy? What's the next move? You can feel it. It's like the horse behind the gate
Yes.
for that race. They're starting to jump around. They're starting to feel like, get me out of this cage. I'm done with this.
I think
So
we all are feeling that.
I love that spirit is pretty much being very loud about the no more ask.
And I think we can all relate to that feeling of when the door is shut.
Right.
You turn around and you can either be paralyzed by that, or most of us would be compelled to take that step forward, move, just do something. And what spirit and what tarot is telling us is you have everything in you.
Yes. And I think the challenge here, because I pulled up the Two of Cups in this kind of overall block, let's say the challenge for the month. And the Two of Cups is about relationship and other people. If we look at the other, if we use that term, the other. And I think the challenge here is no longer asking for opinions, no longer requiring advice, no longer saying, it's not just about asking your intuition. The spirit's basically saying, we're just not going to show up right now for you because we're being like the tough dad or the tough mom and doing a tough love situation. And you just need to trial and error it out now. You've learned. But this is also in the real world, in the 3D, asking for other people's advice, saying, what do you think? What do you know that I don't know? What can I learn from you? I think in this month, they're saying, stop asking those questions. You've done so much homework in 2025 coming into now that they want to see you execute. They want to see you just go for it. Because when I see a Two of Cups dynamic in reverse, because that's really what this is, it's basically saying the other, whoever that is in your life, whether that be family or a boss or a friend, doesn't know any more than you do at this point. So if you want to look at this in the heart of the reading, this is what I love. The Tower and the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, you got to translate that. Oh
okay.
My.
This is saying this is the start of the race. Now, let's use the visual of the horse starting a race. Do you want to start off on the wrong foot? Is it a momentary start? Think of any runner, right? Think of any marathon, any race. You have to start up in the best mentality, in the best mindset, in the best energy of a powerhouse move to have everything. I'm going to win. That is the only mindset. I'm going to win. I'm going to win this race. Whatever I'm planning to have this year, I'm going to do everything I said I'm going to do. I'm going to be everything I said I will be.
That is a mantra.
Yes.
I'm going to win.
And also, it's weird. I was contemplating on this before this reading, because sometimes I kind of start getting messages, but I was getting messages before I sat down here. And I think now it's confirming I should be saying this. Just the statement, I am, period. Nothing else has to come after that. That is strong enough. I am. And the idea that anything you put next to that for yourself, hopefully it's positive, is where that frequency starts. I am abundance. I am a winner. I am successful. And it's not about that it will be. It's not saying I will be successful. I will do what I say I'm going to do this year. You're already saying I am that. So I think the Tower card in the middle of that is saying this is the big disruptor in all your energy right now. That's what the Hermit was trying to lead you to this point, to understand that it isn't about trying to be something or someone. It's about knowing you're that person. It's about knowing that you are something and that you're not proving it anymore. You're not asking anyone's opinion. That's why that tiger energy in the beginning of the year was saying, go it alone.
Totally.
So just the cards around the middle of this month here, the Lovers and the Strength card, which I love.
Yeah.
And then the other side of this, the 10 of Wands. Huge cards in the middle of this month. Not surprising that this has this power of not just movement. It's not really the movement that I'm seeing. It's just the strength. Because the Lovers and the Strength card together, this almost makes me weepy, honestly, is like spirit saying, we're shutting the door because we love you.
I feel that.
Because we love you and you know who you are. Wow, I am getting a little teary, but
yeah. And you're wearing a sweater with a huge heart in the middle. Just
oh yeah.
I feel like you're wearing your heart.
Yes, it is all heart. This is almost what this feels like. If you've done the work of all that Hermit energy in 2025 and came into this year saying, I'm just going to be and decide to be who I know I am. And Spirit says, congratulations. That's what we've wanted you to do for so long is just say who you are and be that. And just be that. You
Okay, you're
don't
now
need to
making
learn it.
me cry because I really feel that. And I hope everybody else listening or watching feels it too.
Yeah. So it's like tough love, but it's also that inner strength that's been obviously at the beginning of this year, talking about with the lovers and the strength, is that how strong not just the love of source, of spirit is, but how strong the love of self is. When you truly know who you are and you say, I do not need to prove to anyone anymore who I am, this is who I am, and this is who I'm going to be, then this is where this 10 of Wands comes in. Then you're willing to carry that burden. It's not heavy, it's strength, it's courage. Like you're willing to just take on the weight of saying, whatever the consequences are to this, me saying, I'm going to be this person this year, whatever comes at me that is hard to deal with, it's not something I don't want to handle. It's actually shows me how strong I am. It's fortifying not just the love of self, but the love of spirit, which was who was the teacher, because the hermit is the teacher, who acted as your teacher from 2025 until now to basically unveil who you are. And then when you believe that now, that's where you can just be it.
Yeah. And I think what you said, coming back to the I am, period, or I am blank, using that on a daily basis. Wake up with I am.
Yes. And it's just strange that it's been a few days that I've had that statement in my head and I didn't know why. But now that I'm seeing this and I'm feeling some of this energy, when we say that, we're actually unconsciously recoding ourselves. It's like we're saying, not that I will be anything, just I am. That's like enough. I am. It's
Is.
enough.
And I would encourage everyone to write that, put it on a sticky note, put it wherever you need to, on your laptop, in your bathroom, in your car, just so that you can be reminded.
What would yours be, Robin?
It would be I am, period, and I am enough. I am supported. I am loved. I think I need those reminders.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's such a powerful statement because it's basically saying, I don't need to learn anything anymore.
It's
I
huge. What
am
would yours
this.
be?
I am abundance. I
Love
am success. So I think that reframing everything now, and because of the 10 of Pentacles, this isn't the 10 of Cups, which would be more the feeling. This is the 10 of Pentacles, meaning that it's real. This is the start of the race. Think of an athlete that goes into a championship game. Think of a person who is going into an interview to get their dream job. Think of someone who's about to climb a mountaintop that they've trained for. Every person that's about to just need 100% focus in whatever their challenge is, they have to start with, I got this. I'm going to win. So I think that is the simplest. Weirdly, this reading feels very simple to me, profound in the simplicity.
I agree.
So the Two of Cups in the challenge, I would remind yourself when you have other people in your sphere that question you or that say, well, have you thought about this? Or have you thought about that? Or what if this? Or what if that? And they start putting doubt in your mind or start trying to encourage you to go in a different direction or start to question who you are. That is not positive energy for you right now. I think with this 10 of Wands here is to use that opportunity to say and fortify, yes, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. Thank you for asking, but I don't need your input.
Yeah, you have to get very strong.
Very strong.
You have to just stand in that knowing and declare it.
And declare it. Yeah, I love the Tower and the 10 of Pentacles together because it's like an explosion of everything. It's that first step onto that track. It better be a strong one. Make a strong move because you're here to win that race.
Yeah, and for
Right?
every person that is different, for every one of us, we have our own track that we're on.
Yeah,
Remember that.
exactly. Yeah, and it could be about relationships. It could be about finances, career. It could be about just your inner goals, your inner changes. It could be about a lot of things, but the idea that when you make that move, when you make that power move, make sure it's coming from a place of, I will win.
And whatever that statement needs to be for you on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis, make it and say it as soon as you wake up. I really mean it. Have it in places that remind you all day. What is that statement? What is that energy that you are declaring? Say it before you go to sleep. Make it part of your everyday.
Yes.
That is how to utilize this information that you're getting right now.
And remember, I said that in the strength card, it's typically the lion,
Yes.
right? So not surprising, the lion is here next to that lover's card. And even though the year had this more of that tiger feeling to me, this is an affirmation of that strength that we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the
because you had
annual
called it
forecast.
quiet strength, right? Like
Quiet
that.
strength.
And that it still feels to me a bit like that.
But now it has, like you said, it has more of the heart in it. I feel this at a heart centered level that this is my strength now. This is my strength. It's not just passion. Passion is to me more of the action of things. This is about the desire and the belief that you can do whatever it is that you are trying to go after this year. But it's also from the understanding that who you have in your corner. The fact that spirit shut the door on you is not a, we don't love you anymore. It's because I love you and I believe that you can go do this. I'm shutting the door.
Yeah. And also the reminder you don't need to keep asking questions in general. It doesn't mean that you can't ask for guidance, right? Like you can still ask for signs. You can ask those types of questions just to keep going and for inspiration, but you don't need any more information.
Right. And it's
Inspiration,
not questioning. I think that why the hermit energy was so strong at the beginning of this, it's the asking the internal stuff. And it's not asking spirit, please help me with this. Or
that's what I'm saying. I just want
yeah,
people to understand. Of course, you should still ask for that and support and all of that.
but it's like asking the internal question of, is this who I am? Can I really
Can
do
I?
this?
It's the right. You
Right.
can. You got this.
With the high priestess here next to it, it's that intuitive space that we talked about. I think all that 2025 up till now was the hermit was trying to really get you to understand that high priestess is always here for you to tap into, is always here. That intuitive space is always here. So it was like training to listen to it. 2025 was the training. So you want to make sure you hear yourself, you know yourself, and who's guiding you. And once you did that, they're saying that's all you need to know.
Wow. That's exciting and validating.
Power move right in the middle.
Woof.
Tower, 10 of Pentacles. It's no surrender kind of energy. There's no participation medals for this race.
Damn.
Right? No, you're like, no, I'm either in first or I'm in last. It's really
Wow.
that simple.
All right. So then how are we ending the month?
So, ending the month, we have Five of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, the Justice card, and the World. So, remember we talked about the Five of Pentacles in that annual because I'm always trying to tag back to that,
Yes.
right? That was about limitation. That was about the low self-worth. That was about anything that was putting a ceiling on us. So that's showing up here as a place of reminder at the end here that the Four of Wands and the Justice card, we've balanced that energy out to a new foundation. That was the crack in the foundation. You can't have a 10 of Pentacles, meaning you can't be your fullest, highest, optimum potential, not just who you are, but the design of your life, how you want to design your life, cannot be stemming from a Five of Pentacles. If it had foundational cracks in that, let's say that horse was running on a bum ankle, that would not win the race. So look at this, the karma that you created up until now was to repair the foundation. Doing all that homework, listening to the hermit, listening to self, figuring out where those cracks were and patching that up, did this world. It closed the cycle for you because now the foundation is solid. Now that horse's ankle is healed. Now you're running optimally instead of in a lower vibration. So this is what you get back is a powerful frequency of being so that you can go and obtain that 10 of Pentacles. So you can go and win that race. So you can be first and not second, third, fourth. The limitation, that belief, the Five of Pentacles, that I'm not good enough, I have to still learn. There may be imposter syndrome here because this is very real world to me. I think this whole reading and what I was feeling in the annual is showing up in a very real world way now, not in a internal space like it was in 2025. This is the stuff that is not enough and I want more. And think of this in everything, your relationships. I want to feel more connection. I want to feel deeper connection. That's not limiting. That is depth. And then we look in financial or job or success. I don't have a ceiling on what I can accomplish. No, I should be making more. And I am worth more than what they're giving me. I could do a better job than what I'm doing over here. We could do more. This company could do bigger, better things. The world then at large could be better. Like, we don't have to say that we should be swimming around in less than and in low vibrational mess. So I think this whole reading is about starting the race, but starting the race now from an understanding that you did the homework to fix those cracks. So the foundation, the horse was trained, the horse was fed well, the horse is strong, and it's ready.
That feels so empowering. And knowing that March represents spring, and even from an astrological place, it's really the new year there. It feels like we're getting the information we need to know we are ready, to your point. You have everything you need and it's time to go. And you're on completely new foundation.
Yes, it's a completely new foundation. And I love that the Justice card is here with it, because if I just got the Four of Wands, it would just be talking to me about the foundation, saying the foundation's strong. But when I get the Justice, it's like Source saying, this is the source from behind now, saying, patting you on the back and saying, see, you did your homework. You graduated. Good job. We are kicking you out though, but you did graduate.
But you're good. You're good. You're great.
Fine. You'll be okay. So that's the karma for anyone that truly did some hard work in 2025 coming up to now, and actually probably is still doing it in reference, not to themselves anymore. This isn't like that inner work. It's in reference to how they're speaking to other people. And when they're in front of someone else and being able to validate and saying, no, I've changed. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I know me now. I know me better. And actually, if you aren't on board with it, that's okay.
Exactly. It goes back to that whole confidence. It's confidence and strength. Mm-hmm. It's that knowing.
It's the knowing.
Yeah, and being able to express it in all of these different areas.
And I think the only other reference I would say here is, be very careful of anybody now, any person, because again, this is very real world. Any people in your life, any situations in your life, any dynamics in your life that put you backwards, that puts you in a place of feeling less than again, that puts you in a place of feeling like you should be stuck in that box. Because this is the only challenge I can really see here anymore, is it's in reference to others.
I think that's a really good watch out. And I'm sure people will encounter some of that. Mm-hmm. And so it's good to know you don't need to. You know you, and you have the support.
Yeah, you and honestly, spirit now.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. And let us know how this lands for you and how February goes for you. You can DM us. You can join the Seeking Center community. We want to know. And Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love sharing all of this and translating it for us and giving us this knowledge and inspiration to be our most authentic selves.
With knowing that spirit did shut the door on you for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Yes, the parent did kick you out of the house for a reason, not because they didn't love you, but because they do love you and they know who you are.
Yes, we are loved. We are supported. And If you want to find out more about working with Michelle, you can reach out to her at m@mtnolan.com. You can also find her in the Seeking Center community at seekingcentercommunity.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you, Michelle.